Hey everybody, hey, it's Pastor Scott. Hey, this last couple weeks, I actually had a family member of mine go through the COVID experience, I guess you could call it, and it was rather difficult. They actually were sick for about 2 weeks, ran a temperature for about 9 days, and have been extremely fatigued. Thankfully, they're doing much better, but it kind of just reminded me how serious this is. I mean, it was, in his words, it was brutal, and it was just really difficult for him to go through. And so it kind of got me remembering just why we do what we do as a church, why we follow the guidelines. Not only, again, because we believe that it is biblical and scriptural to follow the guidelines, as scripture teaches us in Romans 12, Hebrews 12, and 1 Peter 2, but also because it's a sign of compassion, and our witness is really important. And so we place those things at that level. And so we just want to remind you and just reiterate some things. You know, I know we'd put out a video a few months ago about what expectations were. And so we just want to reinforce those and remind you that when you come on Sundays, we take your temperature. We ask you to wear a mask, and we are going to ask you to wear your mask throughout the service. Now, I know some of you that might be kind of difficult, so it might be easier for you to either stay home, or we do have face shields that you can wear. We're going to provide for those that would want those. And so we do want to let you know about that. And the reason why is because, again, this virus does transmit through our breathing and things like that. We also want to remind you that we have spaced out our chairs, and so they're set up to where families get together. Once we hit about 40, we will ask some families that would be willing to move into the family room. Otherwise, we'll have to look at some more options so that we can accommodate all that come. And so we want to remind you of that we have the expectations of, wearing the mask. And we do it, and again, we may not all like it, but we're not doing it. This isn't about you. This is about all of us and doing this together, because compassion very much is a model that Christ calls us to. And then we all have a lot of opinion, a lot of thoughts on whether, the mask is effective or not. But we're not asking your opinion on those things. We're asking you to model how Christ calls us to live, and that's one of compassion. And so we also want to remind you again, we'll take your temperature when you come in, and we'll ask you to stay seated. And the other difficult thing is going to be, a lot of you want to hug and do all those things. And that's actually probably my biggest frustration, is I want to give all of you a hug. And we're just going to ask you kindly, wave, shake hand, don't shake hands. No shaking, no hugging. You can wave and all that. But we just want to remind you of that because, man, this last Sunday was great. But we really do want to make sure that we're doing right in that, by what is asked of us, but also that we're making sure we're a good witness. Our videos and our services go out online, and the world is watching. People in our community see what we're doing, and I want to make sure that the thing that goes out more than anything is that we're a church that cares about our community. So that's why we put in these guidelines, and we are a church that does our best to follow them because we love our community and we want to be a good witness. That really needs to be important. So you guys, we want to encourage you to just all those things. If any of those things, whether you're sick or if wearing a mask is difficult, again, you can watch it online. We invite you to do that. But we just want to remind you of all those things, you guys. We love you. We continue to pray for you and our church and our community. And we continue to pray for those that this seriously does affect many people. And so I also encourage you, don't take it lightly. I realize, again, there's a lot of opinions on what the government should or shouldn't do, but we can pray for one another and we can love one another. Lastly, I want to remind you, as a church, we continue to evaluate what we're doing so that we continue to do our best to follow the guidelines. So you might find we might change the stage up a little bit so that it protects our singers in regards to the rest of the congregation, so that we're able to do the things that we want to do, like worship together and be together, but also in that we follow the guidelines so that we can continue to do what it is that God calls us to do in obedience to what is asked of us during this time. You guys have a great Sunday, I should say have a great day. We'll see you on Sunday. Bye.